Hey, good morning. This is Eric Cortina, Texas Barndominiums. All right, so we got about one more minute to start the stream, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes, kind of get everybody in here, and we can get started with this. As I said last night, I don't know how many of you guys saw my post, but I'm gonna do a 6:30 a.m. Of course, on Central Time, and there's Luis Asensio. Good morning, Luis. So we'll see. I mean, a lot of you suggested that I should do it about 8 p.m. Central Time, which obviously would be 10 p.m. in the East Coast and 6 p.m. West Coast. However, I'm a morning person, so here we are. I thought about doing it last night, but my goodness, I was tired, so sorry. I'm gonna have some coffee. I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but lately I have kind of become a coffee drinker, so I guess I'm gonna be like Peter McKinnon. I'm gonna have coffee in every show and kind of do all these coffee B-roll and coffee everything. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, so there's some people showing up. Daniel Zamora, Ashley Hall, Canna Startup, and there's Philip. Thank you, Philip. So anyway, so it's 6:31 a.m. So let's get going. So first order of business. Today is the deadline. Good morning from NYC. Holy smokes! How you doing? Thank you, Ashley. Ashley says she loves her show, so thank you very much. First order of business, Leroy's BAF. Let's call it BAF. Let's call it BAF, okay, in the chat, because YouTube freaks out every time you guys spell it out, and it wants to flag every one of those comments. So let's just call it BAF, okay? How's that? Carlos, Hemi Love. Hemi Love. Man, I love them Hemis. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. You don't want to get me to start talking about cars, because we'll never get anywhere. Oh my God, Celeste Hunter made an appointment with Elliot. Knees shaking and nail biting. So Elliot is the guy that we recommend to do plans for us. He doesn't work for us. We just recommend him because he has done literally hundreds of plans for us. I think he's approaching 300 now. So he knows exactly how we build our barndominiums. He knows if you're asking for something totally crazy, which we can do crazy. However, it's going to cost a lot of money. So he's going to try to keep you, in those boundaries to where we can build you a usable barndominium. Kind of give you the best value for your buck. However, if you want to do crazy, he will call me and say, "Hey, I have a customer here who wants to do something a bit different. How do you feel about it?" And I said, "Well, we'll do it, or I'll talk to the customer, whatever." So anyway, that's why we recommend Elliot. Another reason we really like Elliot is because, like I said, he knows exactly how we build these barndominiums, and I have had customers or potential customers come to me and bring me sets of plans from somebody else, and they are not a barndominium. They, whoever they hired did not know how to do a barndominium, so they did something totally different. So they come to us, and now we're gonna have to go to Elliot and have one redone, which obviously is gonna cost the customer twice. So not a good idea. AJ Munoz, hey, you're in New Braunfels, man. I love New Braunfels. Cooper's Barbecue. I love Cooper's. So anyway, Georgia, Daniel Carter, South Dakota. Man, you guys are all over. That's awesome. I like that. So what else? Oh, Leroy's BAF. That's right. All All right, I'm reading comments. I'm sorry. I get side. I'm still not very good at this. Okay, I'm like I'm talking and then I read and then all of a sudden I shut down. Okay, uh, Gray Swan. The Cowboy Coffee will give you the jitters. Leroy has a long day ahead with Eric doing a live stream at 6:30 a.m. Oh man, I'm up at 5 a.m. every day. Buenos dias from Austin, Texas. Um, do you build in Texas? Do you just build in Texas? Philip asks. Yes, and not even entire Texas. We only build about a 100-mile radius from San Antonio. It's really hard to maintain a high level of quality when we can't visit the job sites. You know what I mean? So we try to keep it tight, and also, we try to use the same subs on every job. So that way we don't have to keep retraining. Okay. The subs that we have now are not the subs that we started with. So we have to keep going through subs because, we have, how do I put this nicely? We have, I'm just going to say it. We have quality requirements that a lot of these subs are not used to from other builders. And all of a sudden they think we're just nitpicking or we are too picky for them or whatever. So we tend to hook horns quite often because of that. And a lot of them don't want to work for us for that reason. And I'm totally okay with that because, if cleaning up after yourself is a big problem, I don't need you at my job sites. If I have to come in there and literally have a discussion with you as to why crooked tile is not a good idea, or crooked walls, or you name it. If we have to have that conversation, we don't need that conversation, right? So anyway, that's kind of how I feel. And so anyway, yeah, so finding really good subs is a really, really hard time for us. Now, don't get me wrong, they're out there. There's a lot of subs out there that are very like-minded, like us, and we don't have any problems with. They do amazing work. And so the way I feel is this, right? If you are going to be in the, I don't know, let's just say HVAC system installation or HVAC contractor or heck, a burger restaurant, whatever, you name it. My goodness, do the best you can to be the best at it. Don't just, it just kills me when I go to a restaurant. As you guys know, I love food, Friday Feast, right? So it kills me when I go to a restaurant that literally their livelihood is, let's just say, making cheeseburgers, and they suck. It makes no sense to me. Whatever. So anyway, just do the best you can. So anyway, that's why we don't, my goodness, I dragged this answer out big time, didn't I? So anyway, that's why we can't cover all of Texas, because it's really hard for us to maintain a high level of quality and, find really good subs everywhere. So we 100 miles from San Antonio, that's still a pretty large area, and we keep it tight, keep it good. So that's kind of the plan. All right. I'm not saying that one day, I don't know, we may not cover the entire Texas. I don't know. I would have to, like Leroy, we'll have Darren now and Manny. Those guys, they're pretty smart. I try to hire people that are smarter than me, and trust me, like Manny, he's a smart kid. So Manny and I have this, or I'm pretty direct, okay? So I've told Manny many times that he's ignorant, and he kind of got upset at me at first, and I explained to him the difference between stupidity and ignorance. I said, look, you're ignorant. You're very hardworking and you're smart, but you're ignorant, okay? So I can work with ignorant. I said, I'd rather have ignorant, actually. As a matter of fact, I'd rather teach somebody who knows nothing than try to unteach something or somebody that has bad habits and then kind of undo that and rebuild them up. So I said, I'd rather have somebody like you that's very ignorant and I can just teach you my way. Now, is it the right way? I have no idea. It's just my way. Okay, so we're just gonna start with that. However, if I hire, my plan is to surround myself with people way smarter than me. Okay, and that's just gonna make my life a lot easier in the long run. Yeah, Daniel says you can't fix stupid. That is correct. So anyway, that's kind of how we operate. And but anyway, Manny, he called in sick today, by the way. So next video, make sure you guys kind of today send him your good wishes, and next time give him a hard time. Let's see. Let's read some comments here. We're gonna get back to Leroy's BAF because let's touch on that right quick. Today is the deadline to get his BAF, and he's at 2,600 likes. So he's about 2,400 likes short of getting his BAF. So we're gonna have to make something happen really fast, really quick. He's at 2,630, so he's quite a bit short. And you know, the surprising thing is, and maybe, so here's, that video has 21,000 views, but only 2,630 likes. I just thought it was going to be a slam dunk, you know. But I'm sorry. Now oh yeah, I was going to read some comments. What brand of concrete sealer do you use and where can I get it? Thanks. Patrick. We use APF, Arizona Polymer Flooring. We get it at the Stain Store in San Antonio. You can also get it from in Buda. There's a place called Decorative Concrete Supply or something like that. So you're gonna have to go to a specialized concrete place. You know what I mean? Like you can't get those at big box stores. And you know, part of me wants to do testing on other sealers. I don't know. Just kind of see what else is out there. I mean, APF is great. However, I don't really want to screw anything up, so I just stick to APF. So, but anyway, I kind of want to reach out to some other brands. Like, I know a lot of people or a lot of other companies have sealers like Bear and all those, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. Is it safe to live in a post-frame barn with 5-foot truss spacing? Oh man, that's not enough info. It depends. I mean, it depends on the size of the trusses, the span. I mean, there's so much that goes into it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't do post-frame. I tell you what, I tell you who you should ask. Kyle from RR Buildings, he does post-frame. He would be a good one to ask about that. But I don't know. I need a lot more info than that. You know, you can ask. You can actually reach. If I were you, I would contact an engineer and ask them that question. Because you know, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not qualified to answer that. You got to know your limitations, and that is my limitation. As long, Gray Swan, as long as you can teach them right hand. Oh, okay. As long as you can teach them right, and they are open to learning. Good attitude and tenacious is the key to learning, but setting aside the stubborn jacks. Yep. Yeah. I don't know, man. I like stubborn. Because once we get them in a good path, I'm super stubborn. I mean, I am. I tend to do things. I'm so stubborn that I will oftentimes find myself halfway through a project that I realized it's a stupid project, but yet I finish it just because I started it. And that is probably one of my downfalls, that even though I know I'm wasting my time, I'm going to finish it anyway. So stubborn is a good thing sometimes. Let's see. Thanks. It's a 30 by 50. Again, Marshall, I would contact an engineer. if you got a product that works, sealer, stick with it. Ha ha. See what you did there? Stick with it. Yeah, I know it works really good. There's other sealer companies out there, and So what you're looking for me anyway, you want a two-part sealer. That's gonna be your one-part sealers are not gonna be as good as your two-part. The two-part, they're pretty much you're done for life. Okay, the one part that you need to recoat them depending on use, maybe once a year or once every 3 years, whatever. So you want a two-part sealer. Okay, that's going to tell you that it's typically they're better. Okay, that's why they have to make them into two parts. And I wish I knew more. I have asked that question and they have really explained it to me. It really gets down to the microscopic level. The one-part sealers, they're kind of individual particles kind of sitting there on the surface, and the two-part, they actually link like this. So it's a better sealer. Okay. Also, you want to look at the solids content. The one-part sealers, typically they're around 20 to 25%, meaning 75% of that is going to evaporate. Okay. When you get into the better sealers, like the two-part, you have up to like 50% solids, which is kind of what we use. I think it's 45. I think what we use is 45 or 50%. And so, one coat of those is like 2.5 coats of the other sealers. So anyway, look at that. Let's see. Hemi Love, have you noticed a difference now using post tension compared to just traditional rebar? Any cracks, or is it just part of the game? Kind of can't control it. Obviously, you cannot control cracks. I have seen less cracking. However, like I said in the last live stream, we're going back to rebar. It's just the process of doing post tension is a nightmare. I have tried to make it faster, and it's just that's kind of how they do things, So we're not gonna be able to. So I'm going back to rebar, but I'm gonna try adding fiber because I'm trying to minimize those cracks as much as possible. However, like there's some people that absolutely love the cracks, like Leroy in his house. He literally asked me this. He said, "Hey, before I seal the concrete, how can I outline those cracks so that we can see them more?" And I'm like, "What?" I said, "Just leave them alone, just seal it and be done with it." Because if you outline those cracks, see, that's not it. He's likely going to get more cracks, right? So I told him, just leave it alone, just seal it. You're going to get more cracks in the future. And if you outline those and then you get the new ones, then you're going to be able to tell the difference. So just seal it. So that's what he ended up doing. 2.5 acres, 2.5 acres. How you doing, man? Good morning. What part of Texas do we build? We build 100 miles from San Antonio, more or less. You can go to our website, TexasBarndominiums.com. I'm gonna do. I keep forgetting that I can actually type here. Let me put a link on here to our website. You can go to our website, and you can. We have a list of counties and things where we serve, so that helps. Anybody. We actually have. By the way, we kicked off the new website like this year, and we're still working on it. But we're trying to make it easier for people to kind of find information, and we still have a lot of people that can't find it. So I think we still have. We get a lot of questions that website answers. So and they reach us through the website. So I think we still have some work to do. Do you have recommendations for high quality builder North and West Texas? How can I get coffee cup with company logo? I do not have any recommendations. So North Texas, man, there's a guy up there around Dallas. I think they're Rafter P or Rafter R, Rafter something. I have actually talked to the owner on the phone before and kind of exchanged, a few words, and he sounded like he was pretty good. Again, I've never used him, obviously, but he sounded pretty knowledgeable. So I don't know, maybe look at that. Other than that, I have seen others, and again, I don't know. I don't know how good they are. They all say they're good, right? Is there any post frame builders that you would recommend in your area, San Antonio, New Braunfels, Kyle? No, I don't know any post frame builders. I'm sorry. Are you coming to Vegas for Con Expo? If you are and want to do something around Vegas, let me know. I wouldn't mind taking you. I don't know. I need to really kind of start attending more of these expositions, like World of Concrete. I miss it every year because I just can't make it. I have other places that I need to be same time of year every year. But yeah, I'm gonna look into the Con Expo. When is that, by the way? Instead of doing the research, I'll just ask you. Cyclone 73 is wood versus steel barndominium. Man, I don't know. Obviously, I prefer metal. That's kind of the thing about a barndominium, right? You kind of want to go metal. Again, that's it, my opinion. But I think they're both fine. Obviously, you would have to build it differently. Let's see. Rafter P. Okay, yeah, that's Rafter P. They're up there somewhere in Dallas area. They again, I've seen pictures, and like I said, I've talked to the owner, and this is like 3-4 years ago. I don't remember when, but I talked to him on the phone, and I have since lost his number, but he sounded pretty knowledgeable, and he was easy to talk to, so that was good. Again, I have never seen their work, and but from the little that I know, he sounded pretty good. That's all I know. So I have no idea. Do you build in Central Texas? Well, 100 miles from San Antonio, so that's where we go, more or less. How about Easy Texas north? How about Easy Texas north of Houston? 2 hours. No, that's too far for us. Sorry. Do you all do your electrical work? Oh, that's a good question. They're asking if we do our own electrical. I'm going to say this right now, okay? This is a very, very serious note. If you hire me to build you a barndominium and you see me doing electrical work, you fire me on the spot. You do not. I repeat, you do not want me doing your electrical work. No, we do not do our own electrical work. We hired licensed electricians. We hired licensed plumbers and insured. Again, this is back to, remember we talked about subs? This is another thing that we require. They have to be licensed, they have to be insured, everything. So believe it or not, that narrows down the field a lot. So crazy. Let me see. And let's see. Okay. Okay. He's asking about the Con Expo. It's in 2 weeks and it only happens every 3 years. Oh man. Maybe I'll look into it. Of course, I have a barndominium that I need to build in 4 months. What do you pay for a yard of concrete? Average, I'm going to say 105. That's going to be the average. It's getting up there. We just got another price increase, so crazy. Have you ever had to pour bags because there was no cement company that could go out? No, I haven't. Well, I mean, we've done small things with bags, but if it's so I'll tell you a story. How about that? I used to do work for a company that would never shut down. Okay, they work 24/7. Okay, and in the dock area, they needed some concrete replaced. Okay, so they came to me and they said, "Look, we need some concrete done. We need you to break it out, re-pour it, and be ready for it to drive." So we had, and they would only shut down Saturday and Sunday. Okay, the dock anyway. Everything else was still working. However, they said, we need you to cut it up, tear it out, pour it, and we need it to be ready for Monday to drive on. So fine, we went out there, and of course, they wouldn't quit working until midnight on Friday. So I guess that would be Saturday morning, right? So we would be there about 10 p.m. on Friday and start getting ready, whatever we could. And at midnight, they shut down, and we would start cutting up concrete, okay? Cut it all up, break it up, haul it off, and then we would get in there, tie rebar, and so Saturday we would pour about typically about 10 a.m. Okay, we would get ready to pour. So we would hire those volumetric concrete mixers. They actually mix on site. So that's what we would do, because it was, for one, it was really hard to know exactly what time we're going to be ready. So I would get those trucks to show up about 10 a.m. and if we were running behind, then they could just sit there and wait, you know. So that's kind of how we would do it. If we can't get a regular concrete truck, we or pre-mix, we would just get a volumetric mixer on site, and that's how we do that. All right, let's read some more comments. What's your opinion on neck size? Oh, here's a shooter right here. What's your opinion on neck size? I'm just going to read it anyway. What's your opinion on neck size and effects on continental drift as it relates to achieving zero MOA? I'm going to say yes. If you're neck sizing, you'll never get there anyway, so it doesn't matter. That was a shooting related question, so skip over that one for building purposes. Have a good one, Daniel. Who's Daniel? Daniel's not here. I'm Eric. How did you get started doing? Oh, okay. There you go. That's a good question. How did you get your start doing Barndominiums? So I was a concrete contractor, okay? And we did work. When I say we, it's me and Wayne from WD Metal Buildings. They're the ones that do all my buildings. So it's wdmb.com if you want to check out their stuff. So anyway, we did some work for a customer, and we did a slab for her, and she was going to build a small barndominium to live in while they built a big one, okay? So the plan was this. We do the slab, Wayne does the metal building, and then she would hire a conventional contractor to come in and do the inside, right? That was the plan. Well, she did that. Hired us, we did the slab, came in, poured the slab, we're out of there. And Wayne came in, did the building, he was gone. Long story short, that contractor did her a really, really bad job, okay? He did not, for starters, they didn't put a P-trap in the shower, so that whole place stunk always, you know? So she had to keep a wet rag down in that. It was a nightmare. So anyway, so when she was getting ready to build the big house or the big barndominium, she was really to the point where she couldn't trust anybody, you know, which you can imagine. So she had, talking to us, pretty much asked me, at the time I was looking to build my own house. So, and I was going to build a barndominium. So she's, long story short, she asked me to give her a quote, and I said, I don't build barndominiums. I've never built one. She's like, I don't care. I know you care, and I know you're going to do a good job, and that's all I'm looking for at this point. I just need somebody that cares. I said, okay. But I really didn't want to, because but anyway, so I gave her a quote, and she says, do it. And I built it. I made a lot of mistakes, and I was very upfront about it. She knew all my mistakes, and they were not many, and they were not major. It was just kind of learning. Never had built a house before, and I made tons of mistakes. I mean, I don't think I made any money on the first one. I may have lost money. That's why a lot of people that want to do it themselves, yeah, you can save money, but holy smokes, you can also lose a lot of money. So anyway, I got it done, and In the meantime, somebody else called asking for a Barndominium, and I said, well, I'll show you one that I'm working on, and took them out there. They liked it, and boom, built that one, and then another one, and all of a sudden, here we are, like 70 Barndominiums later. So, yeah, that's kind of how I started. It was mainly just doing a good job, you know. So this is opportunities. They're everywhere, okay? All you have to do is do an extremely good job. If you're a dishwasher, be the best dishwasher you can ever be, okay? If you're busting tables, anything, just do the absolute best that you can, okay? And you're gonna get somewhere in life, okay? You are not, listen to me right here, and you can share this with some young kids out there, and this is what I tell Manny, this is what I tell everyone. If you are not happy working where you're at, slacking off is not going to hurt the owner or the company. It's going to hurt you. Why? Because everybody's watching you. People are always watching you. And if they see you out there slacking, they will never offer you a better job. So you are never going to find opportunities by, slacking. Okay? Again, if you really want more opportunities, if you have a crap job, do an even better job. Okay? Just excel at whatever you're doing, and you will get more opportunities, not less. Okay, so that's my advice for the day. Do the best you can. If you do crap workmanship or crap work, or you're slacking off, you are not hurting the owner, you're hurting yourself. Okay, so remember this. This is something that most people don't really understand. You are selling time. Okay, that's what you do. Everybody's a salesman. Okay, you are selling your time, and your employer is buying your time. Okay, whatever you do with that time, it's almost irrelevant. Okay, so they are buying your services. Okay, be the best you can be, and there will be a lot of people willing to buy that service. Okay, just no different than a cheeseburger. I have went into very expensive restaurants and had a crappy burger, and I have went out in the street and bought a cheeseburger that I thought, holy smokes, this is great. Okay, and guess what? That guy that starts with a hot dog stand or a small stand on the street, whatever, that makes amazing cheeseburgers, he's not gonna be there long. He's gonna move up. Okay, so, and whoever's charging a lot of money for his burgers that are crappy burgers, he's gonna go this way. So you decide which way you want to go. You want to go this way or that way? It's up to you. Okay, so all right, there's that. So anyway, that's kind of my advice for the day. Just do amazing work, and you will never lack opportunity. Con Expo. Oh man, I gotta look into that. All right, Jody Coleman. That was in the details. You notice the little things, like the mount of the big ass fan. Drywaller didn't make square. It's a good example. Thank you. Stuff like that really, really burns me. It doesn't burn me, but I notice it, and a lot of people go, "How do you notice like things like that?" I don't know. I really don't know. I just notice it. Can you recommend a builder in Washington County? I don't know any builders. I'm sorry. The only one that we know is Reichart Construction. They're out there around Big Spring, or no, Cat Spring. They're out that way. I don't even know what county that is. How many barn doors have you built to date? I don't know, but I think it's approaching 70, 75, something like that. I'm the best draftsman. I'll allocate when you decide bring the sign in-house. Holler. Okay. Oh, relocate. Oh, man. Travis Turnbow. Send me an email, Travis. I want to keep your info. Eric at TexasBarndominiums.com. Eric with a K. Tankless hot water heaters. So tankless water heaters. If the water was hot, you wouldn't need a heater. See what I mean? Anyway, tankless. We use that Renai. We've had really good luck with those. And gas. We don't like electric. I used to wash cars. Now I wash planes for $60 a year and never slack off. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So I used to build fences, barbed wire fences. Okay, that's what my dad and I used to do when I was in high school. That's what I did. And all right, here's another story for you guys. So that's what I used to do. I used to build barbed wire fences, okay? And one day, the customer asked us to build them a pipe entrance. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that, no problem. And so we hired my dad and I dug the holes by hand, literally post hole diggers. I always joke that I had a PhD when I was 15. PhD meaning post hole digger. So we dug the holes by hand, and anyway, dug the holes, put the pipes in the concrete, mixed the concrete, in a wheelbarrow. I mean, it was all hard work, right? Whatever. That was just way of life. So we concreted the pipes in the ground. The next day, the welder shows up. We hired a welder. And at the time, I think I was making like $30, $40 a day. Okay? This is like 20 years ago, maybe longer. So I was making like 25 years ago. So I was making like $30, $40 a day. Okay? And we broke our backs doing that all day, right? The next day, a welder shows up. And he worked for 3 hours, and we paid him $75. I mean, I'm not the sharpest guy I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but it was real easy for me to figure out that I need to learn how to weld, right? So then, when I went to high school, or I was in high school, I immediately took welding class, okay? And I took welding, and not only did I take welding, I won. Every time I took that welding class, I think I took it 4 years in a row, I won the award for best welder, best everything, okay? Because I had a mission, okay? I'm gonna learn how to weld, okay? Once I left high school. Of course, I was already making money being a welder, okay? After we did that, I did a lot. I mean, I was a welder for about 10 years, and people would comment on how good my welds looked, okay? See, so I figured this out, right? A lot of welders go out there, they weld, and then they spend 30 minutes welding, and they spend an hour grinding, right? So I figured out, if I can learn how to do a really nice bead, I didn't have to grind, and it just looked better, again, it would please my eye to see a really nice bead. So that's what I did. And I would practice and learn. And man, I would do some, if I may say so myself, some really nice work. And people would often tell me like, wow, you are the best welder I have ever met. Well, thank you. And guess what? I didn't have to grind. So I was faster because of that. And my work looked better. So, what's wrong with that, right? So yeah, it was great. So anyway, always do the best you can. Yes, Gray Swan says, I bet you said one heck of a corner and that fence is still standing tall. Yes, I have drove by fences that Dad and I built 25 years ago, and the wires are still tight. It amazes me. My dad, I'm going to give my dad a lot of credit for making me who I am today, obviously. But my goodness, we would drive those posts, not drive them, dig a hole, put those pipes in the ground like 4 feet, and tamp them. We literally had a rod that we would tamp all the way around to make sure they were nice and tight. You could not move those posts when we're done. And see, most fence builders, they only do that on the corner braces. We would do that on every post. And I would tell my dad, I'm like, why are we doing all this? Like, look at everybody else. Nobody does this. Why are we doing that? And my dad goes, because look at all their fences. The wires are loose, and or they're crooked. We don't want that. Okay. And, once I was a kid back then, right? So I was just going, holy smokes. This is a lot of extra work. But you know what? Nowadays, I look back and I realize that was great. Like now, 25 years later, to see those fences that are still standing, and that's what I want to do for my Barndominiums. I want to, I don't know, 50 years later, to those Barndominiums to still be standing and look great. But again, I want to be known for quality. I want Texas Barndominiums to be known for quality, not for being the cheapest in town. You cannot do quality cheap. I have tried. Trust me, I have tried and can't get it there. So we're gonna focus on quality. Yeah, stacking dimes. That was fun. So anyway, let me read a few comments. This is getting long. Leroy's gonna be here shortly. So, is there any Barndominium merch out there? We are working on it. Not at the moment. Do people finance these barndos? Yes, they do. AC469, how you doing, man? Good morning. You spelled my name wrong, by the way. Eric's with a K. Let's see what else. Can you build the garage and shop, then later they build the living quarters? Yeah, you can do that. Just if I were you, I would make sure that you plan it. So draw up the plan from the get-go of what it's going to be like in 5 or 10 years, okay? And then maybe just do the metal building in the shop at this time. Do not just throw up a metal building in the shop and later try to come up with a layout, because you're gonna run into problems, because you got to do the plumbing, okay? So come up with a plan, and then you can decide on the stages. But yeah, you can do that. Do you use both open sale for barn? Yeah. So we use open sale. If it's going to be hidden behind drywall or anything, we just use open sale. Okay, it's cheaper. We spray it thicker, so we get better sound insulation, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. If it's going to be exposed like a shop, or sometimes we do these living rooms that are exposed, then we use closed sale because it just looks better. So that's kind of how we decide which one we're going to use. All right, one more. Is it possible to do foundation in one phase and building in second? If so, how long can a foundation be exposed to elements before building needs to be built? Yeah, you can do that. I mean, foundation can be there forever. I mean, look at parking lots and stuff. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Yeah, the sun's gonna beat on it, but you can go for a very long time. All right, I can't stop reading comments. I agree with you, sir. I used to be a professional freestyle motocross rider and portable freestyle takeoff and landing ramps until a dunk driver hit me and spitting my head wide open. Wow, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, life can be rough on it. Life can be rough. So, yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Have I ever built a basement foundation? No, we haven't. MIG or arc? Do you TIG also? That is tricky. So yes, I started with arc welding. I mean, that's what I did, or stick welding for a long time. And then whenever, I later bought a MIG welder, and I also have a TIG welder. So I taught myself how to TIG weld. And yeah, actually I did some TIG welding yesterday. I should have videoed it, but anyway. Okay, bye, Philip. Thank you. Oh my God. CNT fabrication. He broke 6 in his neck and 15 in his back. Wow. I'm sorry, man. That really blows. All right, Jody. Well, that is true. Barndominiums will hopefully pass down to future generations and the families that built for them. Metal shelves and concrete floors will last much longer than stick built. That is correct. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Like I said, Leroy's going to be here shortly, and this one's going long again. My intention is always try to keep them about 30 minutes or so, but it just doesn't work. I'm looking for a build. I'm looking to build closer to Houston. Any suggestions on builders? Nope. Sorry. Are you familiar with RR buildings? Yes, I am. Kyle does good work. Very good work. He's a perfectionist. I like that. I appreciate that on people. Wow. I knew I was in trouble when my uncle showed up in the heavy rescue and had no idea who I was. Wow. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, guys, we're going to sign off on that. Thank you for watching. And go, if you haven't help Leroy out, go hit that like button on that one video. You know what? Let me see if I can link it here. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. Trust me. So this is kind of how I roll. I just kind of jump in. And there it is. There's a link. Let me see if I can post it. So this is kind of how I roll. I jump in, not being very good at stuff. And here's the link for Leroy's video. There it is. Go check it out and give him some thumbs up. Maybe share with your friends. We need 2,600 likes or 2,400 likes to get him a fan. So it's looking pretty slim. And now I lost my link. Where am I? Did I close it? Did I close it? All right, I don't know if I closed the, I think I closed the tab. All right, so hopefully you guys can still see me. If you can't, I can't see you anymore, so I closed the tab. Can you believe that? Anyway, we'll see you next time. We are Texas Barndominiums. Oh my God, I think I closed it.